Welcome back to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Last time we learned some ins and outs of the game, learned some basics really, but in this episode we should be seeing some more advancements and getting our dungeon items as I mentioned in the previous part. I'm going to say it again. If it's flashing at you, pick it up. You don't know when you'll need it for something. And you will want to take out almost anything just so you can get the ability to make yourself some money in the long run. Now, environmental hazards. They are a thing that affect you and enemies. And we just so happen to have perfectly positioned boulders. Hi, buddies! Boop! Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make this friend's day nice. I'm sorry your buddy died. Sorry your buddy... Go! Why do you not roll over? I'm actually getting a little upset. Come on, roll down. Okay, run away. I guess we gotta do it like this. Wait, you actually don't roll. That's actually upsetting. Whatever. Let's go ahead and just slide down. Now, someone will say, and I don't use this a lot, but as I'm starting right now, at least at this point, if you're looking down a cliffside and you walk up to it slowly, you should get the prompt to press A to climb down. Oh, that didn't work out. Alright, it's go time. Now also, in combat with an enemy, every weapon has a hold attack or a Y spin attack. Also, you can throw weapons in your hand. Thank you, game, for introducing me to that much before the time was needed. I'm not salty. I'm just salty. A rule of thumb on throwing your items is basically don't throw it. Do not throw the item until it is about to break. When it is breaking... Oh, come on, come here. A butterfly found in the woods and plains of the warm regions. Its wings absorb the warmth from the sun. Cook it with monster parts to create an elixir that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. There are elixirs, which is why you need these. Also, frogs. These frogs, I believe, are going to be hotfoot frogs, which will give you speed boost items. I might use that while we start out here and just get a layout of the land. But using these in materials, well, I will make one at some point just to show that off to you. But we haven't been introduced properly to making things with monster parts and frog parts and all that jazz. Now that guy's got a sword. And he's got a good sword and a shield to boot. So we want to take advantage of his we want to take advantage of his poised profile looking away from us. Also, we are at our destination, I want to say, but take advantage of his poised Nope! So here's something else that I never mentioned. The game will eventually get to teaching us this. But you can dodge an enemy's attacks, and if you dodge it with the perfect timing, you actually are able to do a flurry rush of sorts. Basically, you strike an enemy fast and furiously, and without much remorse for what they want. Okay, so slow down. Just sneak up on him. Hopefully he doesn't alert his friend when I do this. Nope. Well, he did. But now we get another bow. This is probably the bow I will prefer to use for a while, just because, yes, you can do this with bows. I'll talk more about that in a minute. I'll probably use this bow because it does less damage, so we get a better attack. Now, that over there, we're not going to worry about until after we complete our main quest, which, this is probably the one time I'm going to go against what I said and just kind of cut away at random, quote-unquote at random. But after we activate this, after we activate and climb this might be like the last thing we do today. And I really did kind of shoehorn things today. Simply place the Sheikah slate in the put your iPad in its dock. Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. We have opened up so much of this game, and you don't even know, just by turning on this tower. Unless I note otherwise, these are also how you'll get your layout of the land, and how you'll be able to discern locations, and follow along with me if I do make cuts and jumps in the video. And there you are. Welcome to the Great Plateau proper. And unless the old man interrupts us, I don't think he does quite yet.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
And you have been given your proper story. Anyway. Our path has been effectively laid out in stone. Oh, let's talk about this last time. Press A to climb down. Even climbing down takes stamina. But, let's just jump. Nope, I didn't want to jump away. That somehow worked. Anyway. So, this is probably the easiest and best way to get down from this tower, is just to run like this. You can climb down if you want to, if you feel like you want to be a big shot in the head honcho. But this is the safest way, because it'll lock you into something with this guy. My, it seems we have quite the enigma here. This towers and the others, just like it, have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you don't mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were at that tower? I heard voices in my head. Well now, a voice you say. And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? She said hi. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity enshrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that the moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to that castle? At some point. I had a feeling you would say that. Here on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. If you were to try to jump off, well, no, that could be more certain, or more foolish. Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, it would be quite another story. Well, we saw his paraglider, but paraglider? Oh, piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. Worry not, I will happily agree to give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? Okay. And the game's like, hey, here's your adventure log, derp-de-derp. But I will look into that more in a second. Come, let me show you. Let me show you something. So he put something in our adventure log, like so. Now, in the future, we can press A on this, and it will allow us to track things. But we must follow this old man. Just follow him. Don't make any sudden moves. Don't make any stupid moves either. And now we talk to him. There we go. Let's get a better camera angle. Do you see that structure there? The one shining with a strange light? It began glowing the exact moment those towers rose from the ground. It's pretty. I'll give you that much. I would think that a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. Okay, fair enough. So he will guide us towards one of 4 shrines like this. Now he won't tell you about this, but it's something that you can do to help to keep yourself track. Say you get sidetracked, because this is a big game and there's lots of little collectibles around the way. Like, I'm just gonna poke my nose around and see what I can find quick. There's a guardian right there. I was like, oh, there's a guardian. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, hey, there's an enemy to fight. Oh, hey, I'm halfway away from where I need to be already. Not to fret. If you click on the right thumbstick, with your Shikai slate, you can simply mark everything by pressing A. And you can edit the pins later. Now, something that he won't tell us that I'm going to do quick is pressing minus. We can fast travel throughout the land. Excuse me, old man. I'm just going to, dematerialize here for a second. Don't be worried. The old man is curious as to where this small child he found has gone to. He worries, but cannot, because he cannot track him. So, something I learned about this with loading times, and in the future, if there's obvious loading times, I'll cut them out, yada yada. Loading times are different for each system. The Switch, I think, is just a blanket. Like, most loading times will be approximately 6 to 8 seconds. 6 to 10 seconds, something like that. I believe the Wii U on disc, it's like anywhere from 10 to 13 seconds load time. The fastest load time is actually if you have a digital copy of the Wii U version, at like 4 or 5 seconds. Anyway. So we're going to use our marking strategy to our effect. Now, I will tell you guys that there is motion controls in the game for no matter what system you're on. And there's that one up there. Basically, we're going to have to go to those 4 shrines I have marked on the map. Can I make that jump into the lake? Well, that will help me illustrate a point if I don't. Oh boy, I'm not gonna make that. Okay, so I'll just verbally tell you the point. Basically, excuse me. Wow, I cannot keep a straight thought, can I? You will die in this game. I will probably die in this project. I'm not a perfect player. I have died to many a beast, despite how I like to play and how aggressive I play and how many of collectibles I get for this game. I will die. There's no 2 ways about that. I will do something stupid, even knowing what I'm doing. If you die, you will either, anytime, well, in the lower left corner, I'll pause, well, I don't need to pause for this. In the lower left corner, a little icon will pop up, indicating it is autosaving. Basically, anytime you die in the game, you will go back to either your last autosave, which the game is pretty smart about, or you will go back to your last manual save, if it's been that soon. Now let's see. This is going to be hard to do because fish are actually rather smart in this game. But I'm just going to jump right in, bash A! Okay, I cannot get fish. It's a lot easier to get fish later on when you have certain upgrades and certain things you can make. But before we go over to that temple, we're going to make a quick pit stop over here. Now, I'm going to make pit stops and actually, no. We're gonna do this. We're gonna press minus, and we're gonna zoom in a little bit. So there's an encampment here that we want to go to. You can make a little stamp like that, and basically you'll help guide yourself towards something later on. And if you're ever helping people out when finding things, like, well, if you're zoomed in far enough, you will see Korok seeds of what you've collected. My personal thing will probably not be a good guide to follow because I'm going to be all over the place. But keep an eye on it on occasion because it will probably help you at some point to help you know what you're doing if you want to get somewhat well equipped like I will be. And I know for a fact that because I'm going to be trying to go through this faster, but also take it slow at the same time to explain things for new players to the series, because there's a lot of people who have got the Switch purely for Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is everybody's like wet dream game almost, in that everybody... Oh, I can't get anything from this, dang it. Breath of the Wild is a game that everybody's been hoping for. An open world Zelda game where you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. Actually, in here we oh, there's not. Okay. I'm going to be looking for tree stumps like that on occasion. Oh. So that does work. So, something I'm going to mention, and something I'm going to do, something I will also do in between play sessions, while we're playing here, just to help keep the pace of the game going, is this EX chest, if this EX chest will only pop up if you have bought the DLC. Shame me now if you wish I bought the DLC. The EX chests do not give anything super important. They just give little boosts to players that decide to back the game. Man, you're like right there. I want you, but you're going to run away. But certain things we'll get access to, I will show as time goes along. And I'll actually do a little bit on camera here too, as I go ahead and grab something. Shikai Slate Confirm. Now, Travel Gate Registered. This game's probably going to go through, but I'm going to give you the skinny on this. Is that every time you activate a shrine, like we just have right here now, every time you have the ability to fast travel to that location. So it's good to pick up shrines, not only for something I'll be showing off once we get done with the Great Plateau, but also it'll help you with something in terms of what am I thinking? It will also help you in the fact that it will make moving around Hyrule quicker. Like, say, if you get a quest, because there are quests, because I already said there are quests, if you get a quest to go to location A, but you're at location P, well, simply warp to location A. Thankfully, you don't have to ever come back to the Great Plateau once you're done with it, but I'm just going to talk about it just so you're aware. Anyway, anytime you see something like this, these are most notably always on a tower, and I will point out other instances of where they will be. But anytime you see something like this, you do want to approach it with due haste. Because you will be gifted. Gifted with what? Well, remember how I said you're going to get all your dungeon items here? Magnesis. Grab metallic objects and use the magnetic energy that pours forth from the Magnesis rune. So basically, the Magnesis rune we now have access to on our left bumper button. We can also now change it in the future by holding up on the D-pad. Also, I didn't mention earlier, but if you hold left on your D-pad, there's your shields. Down is for something later, but basically, we now have the power of magnetism. So, with conjunction with either motion controls or with the right thumbstick, you can move stuff around, you can push it away from you, you can pull it closer to you. The controls for such are on the bottom, basically up and down the D-pad, right stick, you got it, and then B to cancel. Sometimes they will use these things, and they will make you think about using these things in order to make yourself a bridge across somewhere. On occasion. We're actually going to be doing that in a little bit, but right now, you might I'll talk more about later, but you might see me when we're playing the game walking around like this. It's going to be a bit of an eyesore to everybody. I won't lie. I try not to lie anyway. But you'll probably see me in the overworld pop that out and just run around with it on occasion, because that's probably the easiest way to find 90% of the treasures in the game. Anyway. Now we'll be introduced to our first instance of small guardians. Oh, did it wrong. Now small guardians are going to be like preps for actual guardian fights. If you time it right, you can reflect a shot back at them. I'm bad at this though. My reaction timing is either way too far ahead or I have no reaction time whatsoever. Basically, when you're shielding something, you can press A to parry it. If you press it on a shot, you'll basically bounce the shot back. I'm trying to do this and show this off. I'm always too early. We're going to need those baked apples in a second. There we go. Basically, with proper timing, you deflect back an attack. It'll become much... I'll either be much more proficient at that in the future, or I'll be much worse at that in the future. Anyway. Let's go ahead and... Let's see, I need 3/4 of a heart, huh? Well, let's go ahead and eat one of our baked apples. There we go. Practically a full heal at this point in the game. Now, I mentioned the bridges. I wasn't joking. They want you to make bridges. Now, if you watch certain other people who play the game, and I'm going to put this to the one side just so I can illustrate a point. If you're smart, you can run, jump, and do a shield surf, so to say. Shield surfing is basically jump and A, or I guess when you're targeting is jump and A, and you'll do a flip and land on your shield. So you can clear gaps like this without doing that. Speedrun tactics for you. But we also want this up here. I believe this is actually a decent weapon. Those can also hurt. Hence why my panic. Oh, good, another Traverse bow. Now, I want to check up on my bow stash. I can only have one more bow. Anyway. Careful with these doors. Please be careful with these doors. There are many people who have killed themselves with these doors. They're big, they're metal, they weigh about 5 times as much as you do, and you can open them with really excessive force. So, here. These are monks, Sheikah monks. I believe is what I'm probably going to refer to them as. I don't know if they have a proper name here, but just by something else that you see at near the end of the game, I'm going to call them Sheikah monks. But in the Great Plateau, take note of their hands. I am Omanao, the creator of this trier. Awanuma. I am a humble monk. Okay, there it says right there. Blessed with the sight of the goddess Hylia. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Please accept this spirit orb. These are the reasons why you do shrines. These are the reasons why shrines are the most important thing in the game. Why? For anybody asking, why? I'll show you once we get towards the end of the Great Plateau. May the goddess smile upon you. And once you get to this point, you are instantly warped out of whatever shrine you are in. Now, at this point, this is actually a good point to cut this out on. So, at this point, we have been introduced to how our Shikai tablet is helpful. We've also been introduced to the reason why we do temples, the reason why we're doing everything, for the most part. Seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. How did you... Clairvoyance? Or perhaps just something similar. As one gets older, it can become more difficult to see what is right before one's own eyes. However, that which was once hidden from view can often be crystal clear. But perhaps that is not true for everyone. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It is all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip there. I also want to point out, I know I pointed out something in my thing fast, but every time you're talking with this guy, paraglider please. It has been quite some time since I have seen the Sheikah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom in the time of need again. Time and time again. Holy crap, I cannot read my script. Can I get a reading on this script? But the ancient technology disappeared long ago. Or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me treasures from each of those shrines, and I will give you my paraglider. Now, you can answer how you will. I think we'll progress regardless, but... So I need more? I said treasure, but I never said there would only be 1 treasure. Whether it's 1 treasure or 4, that's the difference for a young go-getter like yourself. Since I'm feeling generous, I will also teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey from a high point, look like I did there. Got it. I've already talked about this. I'm not even going to give him proper voice acting because I've talked about this. See those blue icons? You can warp to them by hovering over them and pressing A. When you're looking at your Sheikah slab, do it as you wish. But I will do that next time. Everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Let's Play Legends of the Breath of the Wild. We'll talk more about that in the future. Take care, everybody.